Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast, Festival Edition, Pumpkin Patch Extravaganza. Today we are with Matt. He is from the Red Barn Ranch Farm in Harrisonville. Matt, thanks for joining us.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
You've got a logo, you've got a hat. It's legit. Tell us about you, the family, and the operation.
Well, I'm a little different than some of the other operations. I'm a fourth generation farmer, and I entered into the agritourism pumpkin patch business purely by accident. I bought a farm 11 years ago that had 6 barns that were about 100 years old and all painted red. And I thought I ought to do something with that. And I wasn't really sure what the something was. I was going to enter into it slowly by planting pumpkins for the wholesale market. I did a really good job of planting and producing pumpkins. I did a really terrible job at marketing pumpkins. And the first year we grew pumpkins in 2013, I had about 15,000 pounds of pumpkins and had been turned down by every wholesale buyer in the county because the contracts needed to be made about 60 days prior. So out of pure desperation, I brought the pumpkins back, put them back in the very patch I picked them, and said, hey, we're now called the Red Barn Ranch, and we're a you-pick pumpkin patch. And that's how we got our start. And we've just kind of listened to our customers and tried to give them what they want and grown from there. And we've turned into a whole lot more than that now.
All right. Very good. Very good. So let's jump in here. When does the season start for you guys?
Well, we're kind of year round in a sense now. Our fall festival that we're kind of best known for starts the third weekend in September. So this year it'll be September 23rd. We kick off our fall season with sunflowers. We have we like to say we have the first and last sunflowers in at least the Kansas City area. So we just finished our Sunflower Festival, which is the 2 consecutive weekends after July.
Okay.
But then we'll open again with sunflowers again, second round of September 23rd, and then we're open all the way through the end of October, every Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
All right. All right. To the listener that's never been there, 3 questions that help us get a picture in a sense in every aspect. What does it look like? What are they going to see? What are they going to smell? Meaning food, different things that are in the air. What are they going to hear? Activities, commotion going on, entertainment, vendors, those kind of things.
Okay. So when I realized this place was going to be something, it was very important to me to make it unique and different. My background is agriculture. I still am a 4th generation farmer. So I wanted to recreate something like what I grew up on here. So when you pull into Red Barn Ranch for the first time, it will feel like whatever your version in your head of Grandpa's farm is, because that's what it looks like. It looks like a 100-year-old farm. You'll see the old tractors, you'll see the old barns, you'll see the old equipment. 100% of all of our attractions are repurposed agriculture implements, tools of some kind. So that's what you'll see. That's what you'll feel. You'll smell. We have some amazing food that comes out of our, we turned a grain bin into our cook shack. And we cook beef that we produce right here on the farm, and pork, and a little bit of everything that we produce right here on the farm. So amazing smells coming out of the cook shack. And then what farm would be complete without animals? We have a full petting zoo. So you'll hear we've got almost 20 goats out there now, and alpacas, and we've got a mini donkey named Taco. He likes to greet everybody with, if you've ever heard of a miniature donkey, they're quite loud. So you'll hear that. You hear the goats. So it'll look, smell, and feel like you're on a farm, because it is a farm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. What's your favorite thing about your farm?
My favorite thing about the farm is enjoying the people. My reward for this is smiles. When people come out and you can watch a whole family. It's easy to make one person, say a 5-year-old kid. It's easy to make a 5-year-old happy, but if you can make mom and dad and a teenager and grandparents and the whole family dynamic happy, that's my reward. That's what I love.
All right. How long does it take you to paint all 8 barns red?
Well, I've never done it all at one time. So we try to space things out a little bit. So we tackle one big painting project a year. So
Oh man.
usually we just work on one big painting project for a few days a year. So
Is that hand painted with a brush and roller, or is it sprayed?
it depends on the project. We do both. But the big barns, they get sprayed now, but all of our smaller projects are hand painted. I think that there's still something to be said about hand painted things. You'll find that's one of the things we do. We have a lot of hand painted signs. The sign behind me back there, those are hand painted still. We have a lot of directional signs and informational signs that are all hand painted. And our smaller projects are hand painted as well.
Oil-based barn paint.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Utility red.
There you go. Utility red. I still use oil-based paint on our corrals, and it just lasts so much longer.
It does.
It's so much better.
All right,
So,
tougher to get off your hands.
yeah, tell us about the family. How much of your family is involved in this operation?
So my specific family, just the kids and I are the proprietor of the farm. But well, I grew up on a dairy farm, and when you grow up dairy farming, your neighbors are your family because it takes a lot of folks to run the dairy farm. So you pull out of the driveway and take a right. The next 8 houses you pass are mom and dad and aunt and uncle and cousins and grandparents and all of that. So most everybody has some kind of a job here now. They all do something from running the cook shack to decorating the barns, to making the cookies that we sell, things like that. The one that's here with me every day, my cousin actually started what we call a farm school, LC's Farm School at Red Barn Ranch. We have an accredited preschool, so we have 75 kids here every week, year round. So there are 15 kids running around right outside the door behind me right now. So I get to work with my family every day. My kids help out here. They're younger, but they still help out here, and I get to see the family every day. And whenever Red Barn is closed, I still farm with my dad and my uncle at our family farm, raising beef cattle, corn, and soybeans. Now we've gotten rid of the dairy cows about 5 years ago.
Okay, very good, very good. I'm sure that's appreciated to some for sure. What are some things that you look forward to in the future as the economy evolves, as your community evolves and changes? What are some things you look forward to?
Well, here, at this business at Red Barn Ranch, I don't want to be the commercialized pumpkin patch. We get a lot of folks that come down and they say, we like coming here because it's not X, and they'll name one of the really large places. And I don't want to become that. But also at the same time, it's like this. I tell people this business is like a machine that you started and you can't shut off. It grows and goes, and I can't slow it down. So you have to figure out how to accommodate more customers, 10 to 15% more every year, without getting to that full packed commercial feeling. So we've started expanding the farm. I'm fortunate to have a big farm, so we're stealing a little bit out of crop production and bringing it over to the agritourism side. So it's a challenge to figure out what's the next thing. How do I spread people out? How do I keep going? It's a challenge, but a welcomed challenge. I really enjoy that. I like that. And so I'm excited to see where the future goes and how we can expand to keep the feeling that we have now, but meet the mission requirements that we will have to meet.
Very good. Very good. What's your personal favorite thing about the farm?
My personal favorite thing, like attraction wise or something.
Yep.
It's kind of silly, but one I built. Everything I mentioned is built out of repurposed agriculture implements. Almost everything: rides, slides, swings, everything. But when we have a lot of them. But right now, my favorite, I've always wanted a covered bridge, but I didn't know where I was going to get a covered bridge and how I would implement that. So, but we have a creek with a little bitty 3-foot tall waterfall, but it's a black shale rock waterfall. It's gorgeous. I wanted to highlight the creek and do something with it and incorporate a covered bridge. But how do you do that out of agriculture? And the idea came to me right after our season closed rolling into November, and we built a covered bridge out of a stock trailer, a cattle trailer.
Oh, wow.
And it is it still has a license plate on the back.
Yeah.
From whenever I was a kid, that was the stock trailer that my grandpa took my cousins and myself around to show cattle all over the state and surrounding states. And my cousin, who started the farm school, her and I, that was our clubhouse after it was no longer
very good.
trailer. So we've brought it back here and made it into a covered bridge that's really pretty. It's really neat, and it's a very important part of my history.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that. Okay. A couple of fun questions because I am in live music and live entertainment. I always ask these next two questions, and they are purely for my self-interest in my own survey. So, Matt, I have to know, what is the best concert you've ever seen in your entire life?
The best concert I've ever seen. I'm gonna give you a different answer. I've not been to a ton of concerts. I've been to a few, enough to have one. But out of all the country music stars that I've seen, and I have enjoyed, I really enjoy the live music scene here at the farm, and listening to the local bands. It'd be a close tie to the Garth Brooks tour when he came through Kansas City. I really like that.
Yeah.
But I really thoroughly enjoy the local bands. With a lot of Kansas City bands that come down and play.
Yeah.
And man, it's a lot of fun to be. They're playing in my backyard.
For sure.
And I get to see that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 days a week in season, several times a year. So
very cool. Very cool. Okay. Dead or alive, you could bring one musical act to your farm. Who would you bring?
It would be a tough call between Travis Tritt and Garth Brooks, I think.
There you go. There you go.
I think I'd probably go Travis Tritt.
I think that would be a perfect fit. That would be absolutely perfect. All right, Matt, how do people find out more about the Red Barn Ranch and the pumpkin patch?
Well, our website is redbarnranch.farm instead of .com. I thought that was pretty cool. And then, of course, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, I believe, is Red Barn Ranch Harrisonville, and I think the same thing on Instagram.
Okay.
And I've been told that I'm old and I need to connect to the young people through TikTok. So that's coming soon as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Get those animals on TikTok for sure. That'd be great. Cool. Matt, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to.